Stephen, before he comes up here. Stephen graduated from Benchmark in 2006 and from Devon Prep in
We're digital, my generation, so pardon me.
My stuff's paper.
Yeah. Not sure why I'm, outstanding alumnus. One of those words is correct. I am an alum. Still working on the outstanding part, but over the past 9 years, it has been an incredible joy to have the education that Benchmark set me on the path to. Learned so much at my time at Benchmark and went on to accomplish things I didn't think were going to be possible. And so I'm incredibly honored to be here today. 9 years ago, I was in those seats, scared, quite scared about heading on to high school. I spent 6 years at Benchmark, starting in 2000, and during that, 9 years ago, it was the celebration of those 6 years, of all that I accomplished. I learned how to read, I learned how to do a word math problem. Still don't do them very well, sorry, math teachers, I try. But I learned a lot that now applies to my life today. And I remember thinking in those seats that maybe one day I would be up on this stage, and I think it was Colin McAdoo who spoke during my celebration of accomplishments, and I was thinking, someday I'll be up there talking about whatever I would go on to do. Little did I know that it would be 9 years later, and I would still be in braces, but so in a way, 9 years ago, I set a goal for myself, one that I didn't realize until Dr. Gensmer came up to me after the 30 Days Out breakfast and said, would your employer be willing to spare you to let you have off yet another day for Benchmark? And of course, they were willing and happy to. And so now I'm back, and read my notes here. And in just 9 years. And today is the day we celebrate your accomplishments and what you've done in the time that you've been here at Benchmark, whatever it may have been. And now you're heading on to high school, and it wasn't that long ago, but I do remember it being scary. Yeah, it was scary, but it passes. You get through it. And I went on to a place called Devon Prep, and not many people know what Devon Prep is, but it's an all-boys Catholic school. My parents were kind enough to send me to the school where my brother already was, so I had that torture to look forward to. He was a senior and I was a freshman, and Devon was a place where I had to push. You couldn't just, go and exist. You had to make a name for yourself. You couldn't just you weren't a number. It was a small enough school that you had to really speak up for yourself, tell them what you needed as a learner. And to be honest with you, it was kind of fun. Arguing with teachers saying, no, I get extra time. I'm sorry, but I do. If you want me to succeed, then this is what we're going to have to come to an agreement on this. And Devon was a challenge. I'll be honest, there was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and more sweat. But it paid off. I had, I guess in junior year, we went on the college search, which is fun. Not for the parents, I'm sure, but thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. And I found a school that I really wanted to get into and really wanted to go to, and that was Trinity College. And the admissions counselors at Devon, and nothing against them, but it was purely a numbers game. I don't do well on standardized tests, but I interview really well, so that was my one saving grace. And I applied early decision, the binding one. They deferred my application to the general pool, and then I went up and I interviewed, and I was passionate about it. I expressed that. I worked hard my last year at Devon Prep to show that I was motivated, I was driven, and that paid off. I was accepted to Trinity College, and I did it in 4 years. I don't know how, but I did it in 4 years. And I went into Trinity thinking I would be an economics major, so somehow math reappeared in my life, and this is interesting. But I didn't have at Devon was an opportunity to study a lot of courses, to go outside and expand my knowledge of different areas of learning. And I found this weird little social science subject called anthropology, which no one knows about. People, I talk to people about, oh yeah, so I was an anthropology major, so you go and dig up bones and trace them. No, I don't do bones, I don't do the desert. We read a lot and we write a lot and we analyze, and that was the subject that I really enjoyed, and so that was my major. Anthropology allowed me to study abroad. I studied abroad for 5.5 months in Edinburgh, Scotland. I didn't do very well with foreign languages, so Scotland and the United Kingdom was the best place for me, and it was great. It was the complete opposite to Trinity College. It was a school of 20-some thousand students from all over the world, and that pushed me beyond my comfort zone, which is what I really wanted. I didn't want to play it safe and go to Trinity College in Rome. I wanted to try something new, and that's what you are all going to do come September, is you're going to try something new. You're going to high school, and it's going to be an opportunity for you to learn as much as you can, and explore and try and fail and fall flat on your face 3 or 4 times, but you pick yourself up, you learn from those mistakes, and you move on, and you're stronger. I spent my senior year at Trinity. As I entered senior year, I set another goal for myself, and that was to graduate with a 3.5 GPA, which was ambitious. The little story I like to tell during the small talks at Benchmark to prospective students is sometimes you do fall flat on your face, and see my mom up there, and she probably remembers the phone call of me leaving my neuroscience exam first semester of sophomore year, or my neuroscience midterm, saying, I did it really well, I'm ready for spring break, it's going to be amazing, I studied so hard on that exam, top of the world, science not my thing, but neuroscience, I nailed it. Get back from spring break, you got a 46 on the exam. So that was, the brick wall, which I ran right into. But that may have hindered my GPA over the course of my 4 years, but I had a goal for a 3.5 when I was at Trinity College. Not because a job or grad school I needed it for that, it was just a personal thing. I wanted that number. And that meant I had to have A's in every single one of my senior year courses. So that cost me a lot of, not time, but I guess free time. But it's what I wanted, and that's what I set myself to do. And I did it. My final semester, I had a 4.2 GPA, so when everyone else was out having fun, I was in the library getting those grades, and I was really proud of that. That was one of my proudest accomplishments in recent memory. I think this today is the next one. It's pretty cool to be out here just 9 years after I departed Benchmark, talking about what I've gone on to do. I don't know if I've gone on to do a lot, but I have greatly enjoyed returning to Benchmark, to a place that helped me achieve and to learn and to advocate for myself and to be tenacious and to push myself harder and then push myself a little bit harder, and to then when, on a random morning someone comes up to you and says, would you like to speak, or to, you're the recipient of this, to then my 15-year-old self, that little dream or goal I had, come back and say, oh wait, you just did that. It's those little surprises that reaffirm that you're on the right path to do something. So the little 3 things I keep with me wherever I go. One is, are those goals. Setting little goals for yourself and then completely forgetting about them, and then being surprised when you actually hit that goal. So for all of you, set a goal for yourself today. Where will you be in 10 years? And forget about it, as I did, because I often forget about things. And then in that 10 years, you'll remember it. And you'll say to yourself, I accomplished that. That's what I did. And then come back to Benchmark and share that. The second thing is mentors. People who you can go to for advice. For me, it's someone who, if I'm faced with a problem or a dilemma or whatever it may be, I can say, how would X, Y, and Z, how would this person handle that situation? And for me, I have two mentors, and maybe sound cliche, but they're my parents. One parent is here, the other one is out in Toronto on business, but they're two individuals who are very motivated. They don't care what other people think, and they've set my brother and I on a path to a lot of greatness, to leadership, to doing a lot of good. And so I thank my parents for that, and for putting my education before a lot of other things, and allowing me the opportunity to go and speak. And that's what this place does. This place is so special in that it allows us to go out and do these great things. And the last thing is, weirdly, I do carry papers around from time to time. And in the back of my notebook that I carry everywhere, I have probably 15 stickies with little quotes. They could be from famous people, they could be from someone who I met in passing. One of them is, don't get even, get better. And that goes to, especially for me right now in the working world, it's tough out there. And you sometimes want to feel like you want to get even with the other person, or it's not your fault, it's someone else's. But don't let that hold you back. Get better. So study your goals, learn more, read more, do those things that set you apart from everyone else. And that's what Benchmark has taught you. And it's one of those things that I am reminded of every day, or every time I get to the end of my notebook and I see all these things. And the other one that I really enjoy is Conan O'Brien on his last show of his dream job, which was being the host of The Tonight Show on NBC, which then he lost because of Jay Leno. But the last thing he said on that show was, I can find it here, but nobody in life gets exactly what they thought they were going to get. But if you work really hard and you're kind, amazing things will happen. And for some reason, that quote sticks with me, because it's you're not going to get everything you want in life. It's just the reality of how life is. But if you work really hard, you're kind, you give back, amazing things will happen. And that quote really sits with me, because I kind of live by that. I work really hard, I am kind, I try to do good things for those that I can, and amazing things have happened. So with that, thank you for this incredible honor. Congratulations to you guys, and someday you two will be up here and somewhere greater. So congratulations.
President and Vice President.
We have all worked together to do things that would make this year fun. We have had things from snack card and dress down days and more. The activities and things that we have done brought us all closer together as a community. The student council has donated money to a raised garden for the community. I am thankful that I got to bring this community even closer, and hope that next year's president can do the same.
This year has been a great year for all of us at Benchmark. In the Student Council, we were able to organize many things such as dress down days, help with Minithon, and bring back the snack card. Though we didn't have many meetings, the group of people involved in the school of government were still able to create many events that would help build this middle school into a better community. This year, many people that are in Student Council are leaving because it is their last year at Benchmark. And I know the next classes can do the same and be a good government for the school. I feel that every year I was involved with Student Council was a huge success. But this year we were able to pull off a lot for the limited meetings we had and all the crazy stuff going on. I feel this whole council really handled it well. I'm glad to say this year was a success at Benchmark, and goodbye after 8 years.
Elizabeth Larson and Nate Flanagan.
In sixth grade, the goal was figuring out how to be middle school students, where the rooms are, who the teachers are, and how to get to where we needed to be with the right books and materials.
Middle school is all about getting us ready for high school and life. We learned more strategies, and as the expectations were rising, we were rising. We learned more about ourselves as learners and new strategies for dealing with the harder work.
In elementary school, we were like babies learning to walk. We needed a lot of help and teachers watching over us all the time. Now we are like toddlers standing on our feet, but we still need to have our hands held so we don't fall. In 7th grade, we will still need support, but we won't need our hands held. By 8th grade, we'll be able to walk on our own. One thing we liked about 6th grade was the greater independence. Our teachers treated us like we were more capable and had higher expectations for us. We felt like young adults.
We also liked having more responsibility for things like getting to school on time, having all the materials in class, and getting to class on our own. We liked how we were able to work on projects more independently, but with teachers standing by to help us if we needed it.
Some things that we thought were fun this year were the Outward Bound bonus field trip in the fall, especially the giant swing. We also liked the Franklin Institute trip to see the brain exhibit, which was awesome. Even though our roles were minimal, we still had an important job to accomplish in the play, and we had a ton of fun. We have made some important progress this year. For one thing, we have been growing more responsible for getting things accomplished. We are better able to budget our time.
We've been able to work better with partners because we had lots of opportunities to practice. The projects were more challenging, so we had to figure out how to work well together.
We are getting better at making friends. Our social skills have improved. We've learned that we don't need to be friends with everyone at school, and that it's good to have friends in many places.
We are looking forward to being 7th graders. We may have bigger parts in the play.
We will get to go to Washington, D.C. for our class trip.
We will have a fresh start with new teachers, new friends, and new subjects to learn. We will meet new students who are coming to Benchmark Middle School and make new friends and have new experiences.
And Lawson.
Don't mess up, Josh. I hope I taught you well. Okay, so 8th grade is much like a bittersweet symphony. It's, you try to make ends meet, you're a slave to grades, and by the end of the day, you feel like you're going to die. But the sweet part is you get a lot of responsibility, which comes with a lot of fun. There's just, it's really to the point where 8th grade is, they try to teach you strategies. And with that, they just push you. 6th grader mentioned that 8th grade they're going to be walk on their own. But at 8th grade, it's like learning to ride a bike with someone that's not the best at teaching. They just push you on that bike, but then you realize that their goal was to make you fail on that point, so that they could teach you the strategies that you need to know to succeed all the other times. And they teach you these strategies because it just makes life a whole lot easier. I guarantee you, the whole 8th grade, or 3rd year, will be moving in their next grade, some moving on to a 10th grade because they're in 9th. But they're going to have an easier time because we do a lot of work here. We really work hard. We also have fun, like you saw the Rockets. We get to do that at the end of every year. The play is also a really fun experience. Along with that, some classes have pranks every once in a while. I don't think I need to go into detail for that. But 3rd year, it's really a rough time, and I'm going to go in even more because the 8th and 9th graders are moving on to high school, which, as Urban Dictionary defines, is a failed experiment in which participants are supposed to learn how to survive in the adult world. That's how Urban Dictionary puts it. But I think the 8th and 9th graders are going to show other schools how to correctly run an experiment, as long as you paid attention to science. Then to the 5th graders, moving into 6th grade. I almost told you guys are here. Hi. I'm going to welcome you guys to the family that is the Benchmark Middle School. Brace yourselves. It's fun, you'll like it, and hate it at sometimes, especially when you do the fun before you. We get along.
All right, that production was created by Jesse, so if you could stand up, Jess. Thank you so much. Now I've got a few words for the graduates before we have you go across the stage here. You know, your years in Benchmark have been an incredible journey. It's fun to see some of those pictures from across the years and see some of you, like Grant being here 8 years, awesome, and Jacob, and some of the others. During that time, we've had the pleasure of watching you grow as learners and individuals. And it's been hard work at times, but you know, you've emerged confident, strategic, and resilient. And those things are going to serve you so well throughout your lives. And achieving that has really been a team effort. And so I want to thank all the parents for all your support of your children and at Benchmark School. It's been incredibly important. So thank you so much. And can I have the staff, any staff in the room stand up? You've probably heard me say this before, but honestly, there is not, I've worked with a lot of staffs through professional development through the years when I was at the University of Kentucky. I've worked with groups through being here at Benchmark too, and there really is no equal to this group. They're incredible, and so your children are who they are today because of what they've been able to do as well as your support. So thank you to all the staff members here. It's a pleasure to work with you. And of course, you guys. You have all the strategies that you've been taught by the teachers, all the guidance that you've been provided, all the homework that you've loved all those years. All of that. Teachers have provided things for you, but you have to take that and make it work for you, and you have to figure out which strategies are the ones that are going to be most appropriate for you and are most effective for each particular task. And so you've got a huge role.